Hey everybody, welcome. It's time for Startup Fundraising Office Hours. I'm Scott Fox. We're here today to help you move your startup forward faster, providing access to innovation and investment capital and ideas, all the things that make startups the best and most exciting place to be working these days. I'm glad you've joined me today. If you're joining us from around the world, welcome. I'm broadcasting to you. It's lunchtime here in Southern California, so we're here during my lunch hour to see what I can do to help you take your ideas out to the world and hopefully improve the world, make it a better place. Our topics today are really about fundraising, helping early stage founders to raise money, to bring their dreams to the world. I've been doing this for quite a while. I've written several books. You can see these books behind me. I wrote the middle row. Those are in English. The rest are foreign translations. So if you're here from another country, welcome. And if you're here from the United States, welcome too, of course. The mission here is really to spread the idea that well, the American dream is alive, and it's a dream that we've exported worldwide. There's a lot of critiques of that dream, absolutely. But there also is an ethic that underlies the so-called American dream that means that people can make something of themselves and make the world a better place. And my mission here is to help increase access for everyone to the inside corridors of power and money in Silicon Valley. To try to help the rest of you figure out, like I did. I used to be an outsider. I grew up in inner city Detroit without much money, and I put myself through several different careers on Wall Street and in Silicon Valley and in Los Angeles. And these days, I'm mostly a startup investor, a mentor, and advisor to many companies around the world, an author, as I just mentioned. Run a bunch of small businesses myself online still. So I'm an operator, as they say, as well as an investor. And I'm here today to try to help you figure out how to thread that needle to find your success, your version of success, personally and professionally. And truly because I have a belief that entrepreneurship is the way forward. It's entrepreneurs are optimists. We're doers. We get things done. We're creative. We step outside the box and we work hard to make things happen. So this is not a get rich quick hour. This is a work your butt off and hopefully get somewhere better sort of hour. And together I'll be taking your questions along with a bunch of our visitors from all over the world. We've got people checking in here soon. Let me turn on the chat room as well. If you are on YouTube or LinkedIn, you can come in and chat. I see there's Zach from Playa del Rey, Mansoor from Irvine, hey, right next door, Santa Monica, Next Pitch TV, and we've got some folks in the chat room, the backstage for the video room as well. We're going to have some folks coming on. Looks like so far we've got Michael and Maurice and Bobby, who are all going to be saying hello soon with their topics or questions. So if you've got a question or a topic that you'd like to discuss, please go ahead and put them into the chat room. And of course, the real idea here is to help each other. There's only one of me, but there's lots of you. And that's why I do this, trying to use the internets to share what I've learned and also to help you meet each other, right? And build the networks, because networks are what build businesses. And again, what helps improve the world. So if you're tuning in today, please go ahead and say hi to each other in the chat room. You're welcome to find each other, obviously. You can find each other on LinkedIn and stuff like that. Let me put here's my LinkedIn. If you want to connect with me, please do tell me why that you saw the show, right? And you want to join, because I just get so many random ones. I don't connect with everybody. I'm a little bit selective because I just get overwhelmed. But if you'd like to connect with me, there's my LinkedIn. And then if you want to contact me, by the way, LinkedIn's not the best way. Actually, it's through email on my website. You can go to scottfox.com and there's a contact form there, and that's the best way to reach me. While we're doing this, let me invite you to invite your friends. This is streaming live on YouTube and will be later. And let me mention up front, I do this. This is just I'm doing this for free to try to help. So if you wouldn't mind clicking like and subscribe, like everybody says, it's a social media world these days. So if you get any sort of value from this, please do click like and subscribe and invite your friends and all that kind of stuff. Last disclaimer for the moment, this is being recorded. So don't say anything naughty unless you want to do it on purpose. And sorry, there's one other disclaimer I do have to put up real quick if I can get a lot of windows here. Hang on, where's that other one? well, I'll just say it out loud. This is not legal advice. It's not financial advice. I do have a degree from Stanford Law School, and I'm a former investment banker, so I'm qualified to give that kind of advice. But this is not it. This is just casual for fun, and I hope it's useful to you and your business. Okay, so let's get started here. Did I cover all my notes? No sales pitches today. We're just helping everybody. This is public. Everybody smiles. Okay, well, I think that's kind of it. Cool. So hello, Max from Austin, and Michael from Newport Beach, and Akash from San Francisco, Shika from Irvine, Abbas from Chicago, and Mansoor. I think Mansoor's from Irvine. Okay, so my friends in the backstage there, let me put this up as well. My friends backstage, if you'd like to come on camera, can you please put in that private chat we've got going there what you want to talk about? Just to remind me, we've got a bunch of people cycling through, and I got a lot of emails, so I want to try to arrange the conversation in a logical way that's beneficial to everybody. So if you can just type in just a one line and remind me who you are and what it is you wanted to talk about. Because some of you I know had questions, and some of you wanted to practice your pitch, right? So let's see here. There we go. There's the one I was looking for. This is not qualified legal advice. Where's the link? Sorry, guys, hang on a second. Where's the link? I want to invite the rest of you to join us on camera. Did I lose that one? There it is. Okay. There. Okay. So if you have a question as you're watching today and you'd like to come on camera and ask it, I'd be happy to talk with you. Or if you have an investor pitch you'd like to practice, you can do that too. These are real short investor pitches, like a minute, 2 minutes max, right? And then we'll give you some feedback on. We're not going to debate your idea, but try to give you some just practice, right? To help you improve what you're saying or what you left out, that kind of thing, your style and so forth. So if you want to do that, please go ahead and use that link there. Okay, so let's have Bobby and Michael and Maurice. Hey, Maurice, can you turn on your camera if you want to join us? Let's just see who we got joining us here. Here is Bobby. Hello, Bobby. And Maurice, you got to turn on your camera, Maurice. And Michael, anyway. There's three of our friends. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. So, Bobby, what did you want to talk about today, just so I can get a sense of where to put you in the program here?
Okay. I'm a highly skilled tech guru in so many areas, from software, networking, engineering, database.
Okay.
I already hit, I already made the millions, but I didn't do it the way I want to do it now.
Okay. Hold on. So this is the quick version. So you want to talk about what's the question?
Oh, the main question is how can I go after successfully attract investors in the range over $1 million?
Okay, cool. Thank you. I just need to put, kind of make a table of contents here. Okay, and Michael, you have a pitch, Michael? Is that you wanted to practice a pitch? Is that right?
Yeah, I have a pitch. I have a pitch. Yes, and I wanted to introduce my company, and I can do some. Okay,
perfect. That's fine. I got a bunch of these, so I'm trying to juggle them. So okay, so let's start. Let's see. Let's start, Michael, if you don't mind. We'll start with Bobby's question. So, and then we'll come back to the pitches in a minute. So, Bobby, you and I hang out here for a second. Let me just address some questions in the chat room real quick. Paste the link in the chat. The chat is which link do you mean? The chat is on YouTube mostly. I think is where it looks like most people are checking in from YouTube. So if you'd like to join the chat, do that. Here's the on-camera link again. It's bit.ly and real high tech Masterminds on-camera link. I encrypted it. Masterminds on-camera link. So give that a shot if you'd like to join us. And then we're going to talk to Bobby here. Oh, and here's the comment thing. Comment on LinkedIn or YouTube. There you go. Okay. So, so Bobby, so back to you. Sorry, lots of buttons and whistles here. Okay. So Bobby, sorry to interrupt you. So we're just getting started. Where are you today?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, cool. Great. All right. Yes, so it's a little after lunchtime for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you've got an impressive background, it sounds like, and you're trying to find investors. Would you tell us a little more?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I have a technology background. There's essentially nothing I cannot build, from Uber, Facebook, Lyft, you name it, I can build it. Doesn't matter what space, horizontal or vertical.
Nice.
I've been blessed to be in different stratospheres throughout my career when I was employed. Okay. I left the corporate America in 2013. And like many entrepreneurs, I had entrepreneurs, you think you got it going on when you first start, and you start to realize you were really just hustling, right?
Right.
So I had to get through my bumps and bruises before I hit success. However, I'm noticing a trend where people actually are starting businesses with a lot of capital. I started my businesses with skills versus capital. And I need the advice on what do I need to do, because I have a lot of relationships. My integrity is really high. So everybody trusts me when it comes to building things successfully. But I need to be able to present to investors in the ranges of looking for like 5 million, 10 million, $20 million. And I just had a call today, and I have somebody in that range. He's looking to invest, and I can close them out, but I want to do it in a way where I can actually go after somebody who is not somebody who knows me.
Yeah. Okay. And do you have a specific product in mind? Do you already have something in development, or this is just you want like a war chest to go to war with?
We have a lot of different beta products that hasn't hit the
But I mean, like
mainstream.
something in market. Is there something revenue already, or is this all just kind of prototype development sort of stuff?
It's you can consider prototype. It has some revenue, not a lot, but it's prototyping right now.
Okay, fair enough. And we're talking mostly software.
Software, yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're going to be this one in particular is going to be in the entertainment space.
Okay, great. Sorry, Pavel can't find the link. There's the link again, guys. Okay, so well, I'll be honest, Bob. I don't have a lot of experience raising money if there isn't a product already going. If you're having people calling you up with 10 or $20 million offers, then dude, take it. Right? I mean, I honestly, I'd be very suspicious of that. In my experience, maybe in Web 1.0, when I raised my first round back 20 some years ago, people were investing just on business plans. But I've seen a market shift in the last 3, at least maybe even 5 years, of investors really being a lot more picky and really wanting to see, that word they hear all the time, traction, meaning some sort of the product in market, some revenue, some customer adoption, ideally profits even, right? And then the growth curve that really is what gets investors excited these days. So if you are getting offers for money to develop things even before they're launched, that's surprising to me, and that's fantastic for you. That's no criticism.
Okay.
Amazing, right? All the investors I'm seeing these days are really a lot more skeptical because it's so, as you know, it's easy is the wrong word, but easier, I guess, to build a software product, right? You can get in market these days, with SaaS services and cloud hosting and all the platforms you can do. You can stitch things together even with using Zapier or something, right? And you can build something, at least as a prototype or a minimum viable product, pretty easily. So I'm not seeing investors doing what you're talking about, at least in the software space. So you've got better friends than I do. I think.
Okay. That's good to know. All right.
So I would take that as a compliment, really. I mean, if people really do believe in you and you do have a great track record, I'm guessing. If you want to go outside those folks, which is part of your question, as I understood it, and try to find people in a wider circle, I think you probably are going to want to get back toward the traction thing, like demonstrating whatever of this portfolio of ideas you have, picking the leading one and putting that in market, getting some traction going, meaning revenues, profits, and showing the growth curve there, because that's what most of the investors I talk to are going to want to see these days. So, is that helpful?
That's helpful. That's definitely helpful. Now, what about those who don't have my skill sets to build it, right? And they need the capital for me to build. What do you suggest? Do they still need
like clients of yours, essentially?
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So they have ideas as well, and they would love for me to implement and start building, but they don't have the capital. So what would you suggest for them?
Yeah, and that's the more typical route, right? That's what I hear a lot of, and that's what some of my books are about and stuff. Again, the market is kind of separated. There used to be kind of a smoother transition from earlier stage to pre-seed, seed, Series A. And again, I'm talking mostly about software, venture capital, growth style companies, right? If somebody's listening to this and you're opening a hair salon or a pizzeria, a shoe store, a t-shirt shop, those are all totally life insurance, startup, whatever. Those are all totally legit businesses. It's just not really what I'm talking about today and what I'm talking about with Bobby. I'm talking about software growth companies that are invested by venture capital with the idea generally that they put in a bunch of money, it grows like crazy, and they exit, meaning an acquisition or an IPO, within 5 to 8 years, right? This is a specific niche. So all those other businesses are totally cool. And I literally wrote books about this stuff. I'm trying to help everybody, but the specific thing we're talking about right now is high-tech growth companies looking for venture capital. So sorry, Bob, I got to make sure everybody's on the same page when we do this. Okay, so if people don't have the money, which is the fact, right? The media makes it sound like everybody's got money just sitting around, right? And I didn't have any money when I started, and you have to, build those networks. And the networks, honestly, most of those networks are full of old white guys who all know each other, right? And that's the reason that I do this, right? Because that's bullshit, right? So there's so much creativity that's out there that doesn't have access to capital. That it's ridiculous. So anyway, so I think it comes down to friends and family at the first levels. If they don't have any money to pay you, real entrepreneurs do what it takes, and that's a dangerous game, right? Credit cards. If you have a house or a car, you mortgage it, you sell it. I mean, you do what it takes, right? And that is scary, dangerous advice unless you already are sure the customers are going to buy what you want. So it's dangerous from a financial point of view is what I'm saying. So for people that want to engage you and they don't have the capital, I would be looking at, you can't usually get a bank loan for this kind of stuff. You're talking about friends or family, maybe, $5,000 at a time, or instead of 50,000 or instead of 500,000. And once you get into the 50 to say 500,000 range, you're probably talking about angel investors. So this isn't, think about it like an onion, like you're the center, obviously. And then the next layer is your friends and family. And then a slightly wider, further out layer is a network that are your friends and family, and your business network a little wider, and then friends of those friends, and then friends of those friends. And if you are not a connected person, you're not from money, your uncle isn't going to write you a $500,000 check. And you got to think about this and how to grow like a seed from the inner layer to the outer layer. So it means, look at all the networks you have in your own life. Did you go to school somewhere? Do you have family or relatives? Did you meet a guy at the barbershop? Whatever, your ex-girlfriend's cousin's uncle, whatever, like you got to hustle, man. And the angel networks are just outside your grasp when you start, right? They're there, but you got to know the people that know the people, right? And that's again why I kind of try to do this kind of stuff, so to help people understand there are these ramps, and you got to get on the ramp and then make friends. And the fact is, most angel investors, they want to help. They've got time. They're usually older, retired people with extra money and time, and they want to mentor and share their advice as much as their money. And that's the problem. Sometimes all they want to give is advice. You want the money, but you got to work on that, right? But if you can network your way into those things, make friends, gradually work your way up the ladder. I don't know of any shortcuts, unfortunately. And it starts with your personal networks, then the angels, and then the VCs. And the best way to get those relationships, if you don't have them, is to go to events, and stuff like this, or in your hometown face to face. Now that the pandemic's receded finally, go and meet people and start shaking hands. That's the only way it's done, because nobody's going to invest based on an email, or a random LinkedIn invite, because they got to know you and trust you. And that takes time. So anyway, that's a long answer to a short question, but I've literally written books about this stuff. So I hope that some of that was helpful.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, good. Well, hope to see you again. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll be seeing, let's bring on some other folks here. Let's see, Mansoor or Michael, I guess we'll bring you in and have your pitch here. Let's see. Mansoor, you want to turn on your camera? Let's see. And Maurice. Okay, you guys are, there we go. There's Mansoor. Hey, guys. Okay, so that was Bobby. So we're going to say goodbye to Bobby. And Michael, I think you're going to be up next. Mansoor, can you give me a quick highlight what you would want to talk about today?
I started a little new venture that I've actually been getting into. Cool. I got my first yes, and I'm finding product market fit right now as we speak.
Right on.
And so now I'm trying to build that out. But I guess the question that I had for you was, when is a good time to start approaching investors, right? For like pre-seed rounds, and if that's a good idea to do it. I apologize, there's a truck outside. Give me a second.
Okay, no worries. That's all I needed for the moment. Let's talk to Michael, hear his practice pitch, and then we'll come back to you. It's a great question. Okay, cool. So just hang on. Okay, so this is our friend Michael, and Michael has a product. So we'll just give us like the 30-second, 1-minute version, and then I and everybody in the chat room, everybody that's listening, please try to be constructive and friendly. Obviously, we're gonna give Michael's. He warned me English is not his favorite language, so we're gonna have to do it in English because that's my favorite language. Sorry, but you can give him feedback in the chat room if you have suggestions for him. Okay. So go ahead, Michael. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah. Actually, I have a patent for the the hand press dryer. Press dryer, the commercial hand drying now just have two kinds of. One is paper dispenser. Another one is the blower, the stuff like Dyson and Excel, the hand dryer. But we have an innovation center, invention of the hand press dryer to use the reusable fabric to just automatic to pour in the hands and just press and sure, that's okay. 6 to 8 seconds to dry faster and quieter, no noise, and softer, and the greener greener than the paper towel. In 2020, in America there have 20 billion pounds of the hand paper towel to be used, to be wasted and dumped, and there have many trees and water pollution and some energy and some landfill and the carbon emission. So we now we are the first hand press dryer to. We hope we can become the Tesla of the hand dryer industry. That we hope to become. And now we have a prototype, and we have a finished test that have 6 to 8 seconds to dry your hand 95%. And now we are raising the series seed investment for our products to have to prepare our sample machine and the sample customer, and to have to develop it.
Great. Okay. Well, that was pretty good. That was a very interesting product. So thank you. First of all, it's brave and it's hard to do, especially if you haven't done it many times. And practice is what makes this stuff work. So good job. So anybody in the chat room, please go ahead and offer him some comments. I think it sounds very interesting, and I think you made a good case for why it's important, right? I mean, the green aspects of this are clearly important. You did do one thing though that I would caution against, and this is for everybody. Everybody does this. You talked about the product the whole time, not about the business. So if you want an investor to get interested, all the things you said are true, but you got to talk about the deal, right? And even if you don't know yet exactly what the terms are, you want to build in there some more. And investors love numbers, right? So I would build in a little more specifics, something like, we think the total addressable market in the United States is, and I don't know what the numbers are, but 50 million hand dryers are out there, and we think that we could reach 10 million of those after 3 years of marketing if we had $1 million. Just do kind of an equation there, because that's how investors think, right? So the same deal, it may be the same product, but if you're trying to say, you're going to raise $10 million at $1 billion valuation, that's a totally different investor than if you're raising $50,000 at a $1 million valuation, right? The one is like a Series C venture capital firm. The other is an angel investor. And so not all investors are the same. So you need to kind of give them some idea of how big and hungry are you, and what's the opportunity size here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Cool. That would be my one, but you're hitting some good points otherwise. Let's see. So there's some good comments in the chat room as well. Michael is saying, Michael H. Let's see, where did they go there? To practice the pitch. Yeah, that's my number one tip for everybody here. Okay, sorry, but there's more than 30 seconds to 1 minute. Yeah, I let him go a little long. That's fine, but he was making sense. I'd write this out and edit it for clarity, right? Practice several times. English is not a barrier. Yep. And don't improv. Yeah, I think that's right. The problem solution framework that Michael's suggesting, I agree with as well. My tip for everybody when you're pitching is you've got to learn this story like it's your life story, right? Like if you met somebody at a party and they said, "Who are you?" you would look at them and you'd think, okay, I want to spend 30 seconds with this person, or I want to spend a minute, or I'm hoping I'm going to talk to them all night. And you would adjust your story depending on how much time you thought you had, right? Because you don't want to be rude, or you might have to leave, whatever, right? You're going to adjust because you know your story. I was born here, I went to school here, and then I did this, I got married, I didn't get married, whatever, blah, 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 and you will adjust. You need to know your startup story the same way you know your life story, because it is your life now, right? And so for me, I would think about that in terms of like 4 or 5 or 6 bullet points that are the key points, and just have those in your head totally nailed down, right? These are the 3 to 5 things I have to cover, and then you fill in and make them longer or shorter depending on how much time you have. And that will be tough if English isn't your first language, because Michael's right, it would be nice if it was perfectly clear, but for everybody, you have to know it so well that you can improvise, but within the framework of accomplishing what you want to do, which is, here's my problem, here's the solution, this is why it's a product, this is why it's going to make a ton of money. And then you always have to have an ask, which is, therefore, I'm hoping you will give me advice, you will give me an introduction, you will give me, look at my investment opportunity, some ask at the end. So there you go. Good thought. In the chat room. Anybody else?
By the way, that's this market, this hand drying market is over $20 billion or worse and per year, included the paper, the paper towel. So otherwise, just only the paper dispenser and the hand dryer, there have $7 billion market. And we hope to replace 80% of hand dryer, because we are the economic environmental protection, and we are faster and comfortable. So that's the major of our objective is to replace the 80% the hand dryer. So that's a big market. We hope to have.
Okay, I got it. We got it. Yeah. We got it, Mike. We got it. Awesome. But you're doing it again. This is like the business. What's the deal? Like, how much money can I make? You're pitching the product again. That was better, but where's the money? Right. That's the key we need. Not the product pitch, but the market opportunity. So that was better. Very good. Okay. Well, we can come back next time. We'll do this again, and our next masterminds meeting. Actually, these I should say real quick. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Let me just show this sign behind me here. There we go. This one. So I run once a month. We run workshops like this, but where everybody comes on camera, right? This is just my lunchtime, basically, our office hours. But once a month, we run workshops where we really practice pitches like this and do questions, and everybody talks, right? So this is mostly me talking, but once a month, and the next one of those is on May 5th. It's a Thursday, first Thursday. And so if you want to join us for that, we'd be happy to see you there, of course. Okay, so nice to meet you, Michael. Thank you for coming on. Let's talk to our friend Mansoor. And Mansoor, just one sec. Let me just run through the chat room here in case I missed anything that was important. Zach says, check out your local score. Service Corps for retired executives. I'm going to mute you just a second, Mansoor, because I got some truck noise there. We'll be back. The Service Corps of Retired Executives, that's a federally funded program across the United States that where retired executives will help mentor people. That's a great tip from Zach. Check out your local score. And let's see, next pitch. I don't know who that is, but you're saying looking to equity crowdfunding. That's a great idea, Michael. This kind of product, you hit a lot of the buttons for popularity. There's a huge demand for cleaner ways to do everything. And you're literally cleaning hands and cleaning the environment at the same time. That sounds cool. Mansoor said he liked me, so I guess he liked me on YouTube. Thank you, Mansoor. Everybody else, you're invited to like and subscribe as well. Appreciate that. Let's see. Mary Abdullah wants to network with other startups in the area. Put your LinkedIn in there, Mary, and I think there'll be plenty of people here to LinkedIn message and network with you. Let's see. Atlanta's another Atlanta in the house. Currently reading Click Millionaires. Oh, Michael. Okay. Yes. Okay. Click Millionaires. That's my. Sorry, Mansoor. One more second here. That's my most recent book. That's this one. That's in a bunch of languages. There's the Russian version and the Japanese version and so forth. And that's about 10 years old. So it's not perfect anymore. It was never perfect, but it was pretty good. But it's about how to take your own skills and build that into a business online, even if you're not a technical person, but really to do the research and think about the opportunities like a business person or investor, because that's really what you are, is you're investing in your own life and your own future. So that's Click Millionaires, and it's on Amazon and all over the world if you're interested in that. Okay, Cesar says hi from Mexico. Buenos dias, Cesar, and Mansoor, and Abbas, and Shika. Hello, 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 Zach. Okay, all right, I'm all caught up. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Here's my friend Mansoor. So Mansoor, let's talk about your question there. Sorry for the delay. A lot of people here today. So thanks for being here. Oh, I muted you. Hang on. Okay, try again.
Hey, Scott, I just re-signed in on my phone.
Okay.
Did you actually?
Now you're gone again.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah.
So my laptop's gonna die. Yeah. Can you actually pick the other one? My laptop's gonna die for this one. I just re-signed into my phone.
Oh, I see.
Does that work?
I don't know. Let's see.
Sorry, I'm not near a power cord either.
Okay.
All right, there's two of me, not just one. There's two.
No picture, though. That's got no picture.
Oh.
Turn on your video. Okay, so Mansoor, there he is. Let's see if he can get his video back. Otherwise, we'll just... Oh. Mansoor, I can see you. All right, we'll talk through the phone and leave the video on until your laptop dies, I guess. Can't hear you, though. Your phone mic is not on. Okay, we're going to have to come back. I'm sorry, my friend. All right, let's take some questions from the chat room. If anybody wants to... Okay, sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, so, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Okay, so patents. Oh yeah, so somebody asked if Michael has patents. He does have patents. Yep, that's a good thing to include in your pitch as well, Rob. Good point. Okay, so let's, how about some questions in the chat room? Who's got questions in there? Jay Waller says, we have an app we're developing that intertwines several types of systems. Okay, that sounds cool. It doesn't look like a question though. If anybody has a question, I'm available, it looks like. Let me put up the caption for the on-camera link if anybody else wants to join us. Thanks again to Bobby and Michael so far. Oh, Mansoor is back. Let's see. Okay, Mansoor.
Is it working this time?
Yes, it is working. There we go.
Awesome.
Let's try that. Okay, and a better picture too.
Yeah. What's up, Scott? How are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So I had a quick question. So I've been a software engineer for 15 years. I've taught in San Francisco. I've done so many things in the technology space. I've had multiple small businesses going from little to big, whatever, right? I'm currently working on a small business with a couple of my friends. That's actually turning a medium-sized business, which is fantastic. But I kind of want to venture off a little bit on my own to start these little businesses by myself. And just to see if I got that bug in me that I can, produce, build clientele, build a team, not just the technical aspect, but also the leadership aspect of it. So I've thought up this little idea. It's supposed to help communities manage their pets and things like that. It ends up saving the community money. It ends up making them a little bit of money on the side so they have some buy-in. And I have about 4 letters of LOIs, letters of intent to use the service, and I have 1 paid customer so far. And so with that being said, I just kind of want to understand and know, when is it a good time to start raising pre-seed money or to raise seed, and then kind of go through the business journey from start to finish, right?
Right. Wow. Well, first of all, congratulations. So I get this kind of question a lot, and you've gone way past the thinking stage, my friend. Good job. That's very cool. Yeah. So yeah, Mansoor is our today's role model. Good job, Mansoor. Taking expertise from one area and expanding into the management and leadership that's exciting. Good for you. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Well, so you're doing the right things, right? So the question at hand is, when is it time to start raising money? Basically, the short answer is, sorry, too many things going on here today. The short answer is friend raising. You always want to be making friends. You never want to be raising money, right? So what you want to be doing is all along the way building relationships so that when it's time to raise money, you just call your friends. And that's the trick, right? People think that this is like these two separate worlds of like product development and then raise money, right? But if you just show up, even with a perfect product in a room full of investors, they don't know you, right? I mean, it's their job. It's either their personal money, like when I invest, it's my personal money, or they're a venture firm or a bank or something, and they're fiduciaries, which means it's their job to get to really take care of the money of other people and only get the best deals. So in both cases, people are really picky, and they're not going to just give it to some guy they meet on the street. So the answer is to get out there now, like yesterday. Everybody, all of you, stop worrying about your product and go make friends. And it's been hard these last couple of years because of the pandemic. But that's why I've been doing these on Zoom, and here in Southern California, I do them in person sometimes as well. But you got to go and meet those people, because I always say investors don't invest in, they invest in lines, not dots. So if you think about a graph, people show up with a product and say, invest in me, please invest right now. You've given them one data point, think, right? But what you want to do is have met them 3, 6, 10 times and shown them from early stage, oh, I've got this idea. Now it's going. Here's another point. Oh, I see you again. Hey, how's it go? Well, now we're doing this. Oh, it's doing better. Now we're doing this. And you create a series of dots that give them a line. And hopefully that line is going straight up to the right, And then when they see you, you say, well, what are you doing? Well, actually, now I'm raising money. Oh, now we have something to talk about. Great to see you. Let's talk about it, right? So that's a long answer to a short question, is my habit. I'm about that, but that's the way you do it. So more specifically to Mansoor's situation, he's already done the right things. He's got a product, at least a minimum viable product, as they say, or as my friend Barry James says, a minimum valuable product. And he's proven this by talking to some actual customers. This is the big piece that people miss in between. Oftentimes they do the product development and then they want to jump to the investor stuff. Well, the customers are what validate that. You need to talk to some customers and show that somebody will pay for this stuff, right? Because that's what investors want to know. They don't want to just know you have a good idea. They want to know that somebody will pay for it. And that was back to Michael's pitch, right? Great idea, cool product, but who's going to pay for it? How much, how often, what kind of business does that create? And that's when the investor conversation can happen. So was that useful? Maybe.
Yeah, it's really useful. Really useful. I guess the follow-up question is how do you get more involved, especially during this time, right?
Involved in what?
Like finding more friends, right? So friends and investors.
Sure.
Ideas like that, right?
Sure. Well, these days it's on Zoom and Eventbrite a lot, right? I mean, you guys are all doing the right thing. If I was a founder right now, or if I was literally in your shoes, early stage, looking for money, looking for relationships, I would be checking Eventbrite, and I would Google, search on startup events and things like that. And the beauty of this Zoom world we live in now is you can attend stuff from all over. And we've got people on this call from, I had RSVPs from Montreal and Nigeria and London and the Philippines, and and you guys here in Southern California too. You can really do all this. Zach says he found this on Meetup, right? Yeah, Meetup's a good place. And you just show up, right? I mean, and keep showing up, figure out who you like, and make sure that you do the work. Like, don't just sit there, like participate so that you make an impression. Put your LinkedIn in the, speaking of that, here, let's do that. Put your LinkedIn in the chat, right? Let people connect, and then follow up. And it's business development. And if you have a technical background, this may not feel natural. My background is business development. To me, this is like breathing, right? But it's not hard. It's just, it can be a little uncomfortable. you got to go outside your comfort zone a little bit and reach out and share and ask for small favors and, build relationships. So, and more particularly, since you're in Southern California, I run the Orange County Startup Council, and maybe you're on one of those lists. Let me put that actually. We have events all the time, and here in Orange County, all the local events are on this list, but this also, we cover national events too. We're expanding. So if you're not on this email list, all of you get on the email list. I mean, it's free, right? And then you just show up, and a lot of the events are free these days too. And show up, and it's the difficulty. One of the many difficulties of being an entrepreneur is making good decisions, because you don't have enough information, right? You have to make all these assumptions. And especially if you're a formally like an engineer or something, you're used to kind of logical stuff and you want all the inputs. Well, the best way to make better decisions is to get more information. And the easiest way to get more information is to go to more events, because events will give you information and relationships if you participate. And that will improve your decision-making and improve your outcomes. So, and improve your fundraising, which is really the point of all this, right? So anyway, there we go. That's my answer, Mansoor. Is that helpful?
That was great. That was really helpful, Scott. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for your knowledge.
Super. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope to meet you face to face one of these days. We'll be back in action. There's a bunch of events going on the next couple of weeks. If you're not on the Orange County Startup Council list, definitely there's stuff going on in person again. Hooray! So
awesome. I'm actually going to sign up right now.
Okay, super. Nice to meet you. Okay, so let's see. That's our friend Mansoor. If anybody else wants to join us, it looks like everybody who's in the chat room or the video link. Let's take some of our questions from the audience. We can do another couple people on camera if anybody wants to come on too. It's more fun when you're on camera anyway. Let's see. So let's check the chat room. So new messages. Okay, there's my friend Athena. Hello, Athena. Speaking of Orange County. Akash says, what if we are a Canadian federal incorporation and trying to raise money from U.S. angel and seed investors? Hi, Akash. Nice to meet you. So it'll be harder. If you are not a U.S. company, you're making it, and you want to raise money from U.S. people, then yeah, it's going to be harder. It's certainly possible. But the standard these days for startups, again, I'm talking about software, high growth software companies funded by venture capital, right? Again, not a pizzeria or your friend's life coaching business, right? Which are still totally cool businesses, but not this model. You need to be a Delaware C corporation. That's it. No, the camera didn't freeze. I just stopped, right? That's it. You're a Delaware C corporation. Why? Because that's what investors want to see. That's the standard, right? So if you are a Canadian corporation, that's awesome. Canada's a great market and there's no reason you can't do that, but it will make it harder. And that's true for the rest of you if you're in non-US jurisdictions, or if you are, say, a LLC or a Texas S Corp, or any of these other formats, totally legitimate businesses, but venture investors have finally, after many years, standardized around a Delaware C Corp. So that's what you should do if you want to make this as easy as possible in the US. Okay, Maurice says his camera's not working, but he has a question here. Let's see. The question was, what are some methods for connecting with startups interested in building their app? So Maurice, are you a software provider then? Or are you I don't quite understand. You want to build their app? I'm going to assume that for the moment anyway. So how do you find methods for startups? Well, this is kind of the reverse of what I was talking about a minute ago, which is get out and network. I mean, these days you can do a lot online. Buying ads, pay-per-click ads, or placements on LinkedIn, for example, might be a good place. But it's really hard to find people right at the moment, that inflection point when they go from having an idea to actually realizing they have a budget and need to hire somebody, right? That's a very short period. They spend lots of time leading up to it and then a lot of time building, but the decision time is probably only, 48 hours or something, right? So you got to catch them. Targeted ads on Google might be better than that, because then they'd be searching perhaps for a specific provider, right? When they type into Google, who can build my app, right? That's right when you want to hit it with an ad. So that's a great tool for customer acquisition. That's not cheap anymore, right? There's a lot of competition. 20 years ago, you could get clicks of all sorts for like 5 cents a piece. These days, not so much. So I would really be looking more at in-person networking, or in Zoom networking. I would think about public relations. There's a lot of podcasts out there that might want to hear from you if you have something interesting to say. I would be looking at content marketing, which means really writing articles either on your own site or on other people's sites and getting them to link back to you with keywords embedded in the article of helpful information about how to find a software developer or how to build an app or the latest trends, the cheapest ways to do things. Put yourself in the shoes of that customer and write an article that answers their questions. That's what I'd be doing. I hope that's useful. Let's see. Big Bangles Theory says, hello from a real by the book dreamer, serial entrepreneur. I need a lot of advice. Don't know where to begin. I'm a woman, 55, still can't give up. Do follow us. Okay. Big Bangles Theory. Yeah, that's right. You got to keep going. And what's the alternative, right? I mean, we're here. You got to do something. And I admire your pluck, right? You got to keep going. That's why I think entrepreneurs are the coolest, because we keep going. If it's helpful and you haven't, I donate the profits from these books to charity, by the way. So I really did write them to try to help people. But I would try reading these books. Maybe not the middle one. The first one, Internet Riches, was really about what you're talking about, but it was written in 2005. So a little old, but the strategies are the same, right? Like, how do you look at your life and how do you think about turning it into a business that you enjoy, right? The middle one, E-Riches, is really about marketing stuff. So it's a little bit dated now. It's like back when YouTube was new and that kind of stuff, and Facebook. But the middle one, Click Millionaires, that's an updated version of the first one, which is really about how to stop working for somebody else and productize what you have and bring it out to the world. And again, it's a little dated on some of the specifics, but the theories and the motivation of it, I think, are valuable. And you can see on Amazon, there's many hundreds of reviews about these books, and they continue to sell. And I give the profits back to kids in inner city Detroit, where I grew up, to help them go to college. So if that's helpful, check it out. Okay, Athena, my good friend here from Orange County. Question on the team. My team now consists of hired contractors, individuals, and companies. How does that look to investors? Great question, Athena. A lot of people are worried about this. The fact is, it looks like real life. That's how companies get built these days. So if you're if you're 5 years in and you've raised $8 million and you think this is a $40 million company, having a collection of different people is not what investors want to see, right? They want a real company with real employees, that receive W-2s and have insurance, health benefits, and like show up, right? But if you're early stage, I think that's realistic. So it depends a lot on how much money you're raising. If this is a $50,000 round from friends, family, and some angels you met, that's probably fine. I think you're a little farther along than that, though. So you're right on the edge. And I think you're smart enough to know that is a legitimate question. It doesn't look great, but it's what you got, right? Well, rather than worrying about that for all of you, rather than worrying about how you appear or what your team looks like or anything else, really, I would focus on customer traction. That solves so many problems. So many startups I work with, they get caught up, and they're not wrong. I mean, that's the problem with being an entrepreneur. You got to do everything at the same time, right? But they get caught up in the product launch or the branding or the partnership deals or the recruiting or the raising money, like all these other things, which are totally have to be done. But what investors really want to see that will smooth all that over is that you have revenue. You have recurring revenue that's growing from happy customers who are telling other customers. If you have that, the rest is golden. It's fine, right? So it's that month-on-month growth of recurring revenue. If you can focus on that and have a story about that, and if you're not there yet, then it's really about customer referrals or customer excitement, and the potential for that. The growth story trumps all the other stories, right? The growth. When big ideas are pitched in Silicon Valley now for big money, people don't pitch products anymore. They certainly don't pitch ideas. They pitch growth strategies, because the problem in our crowded world these days is distribution. Like, I could have a cure for cancer, and if I can't get it out and get people's attention, it's not worth much at all, right? So what happens instead is somebody else has a half-baked cure for cancer, much less effective, but they have a distribution relationship somehow that they can get it out and reach a bunch of people. Well, they're going to win, right? Because distribution is the hard part. So you all need to think more about growth and less about any other part of the business model, really. It's the growth of revenue is what people are looking for. Okay. Let's see. So Jay Wallace in the UK, Mary. Okay, a bunch of people here from Atlanta, the ATL in the house. Good to see you guys. Let's see. All right. I want to pitch an idea. Send me a link to join. I put the link up. We're running out of time now, Mary, unfortunately. It was up earlier, or you can join us again next month as well. All right. Let's see. How can I join those? Do you do physical meetups? Yes. Well, we did. We did a lot of them for years until the pandemic. Now we've actually found that Zoom is more effective. The meetups tend to be in Irvine, California. Shika, I don't know where you're from, Shika, but if you're in Southern California, that would be a good place to be if you want to meet in person. I'm starting work on a new book, actually, and as part of that new book, I'll be traveling around doing meetups in other cities. So if that's interesting to you, please do, like I said, join. Where's that list? There it is. Join this list and you'll hear about that. It'll take a year or so. This is not imminent. My books are not, these are not little PDFs. These are like real books, as they say, right? 50, 100,000 words, hopefully of useful stuff. Okay. So, Mary, if you have a quick question that we can respond, let's do that instead. Okay. Happy to help. J.H. Waller, thank you for doing that. You're welcome. Please, yeah, let me remind you, guys, I'm just doing this for fun and to help. If you can, click like and subscribe and share and invite your friends, all that stuff. That's the only way that this gets out, right? There are just too many people talking to each other. The venture capital community is very small, very insular, and they just throw money at each other. And there's so much more of you out there that needs reinforcement. So help me help you, and I'll keep doing this. I'm happy to help. Okay, I saw another question there. Where'd that go? Matin says, my product will be offered at $500. Okay. It'd be hard for me to make many of them before sale, and investors not willing to invest if there's no track record of sales. Yep, that's right. Can I organically grow my company by selling one product and making 2 more to sell, and then 4, 8, etc.? Yeah, you can, right? It's arithmetic. Yeah, it's you need some capital, right? That's why people raise money. You get, if your products are, sell at $500, it could cost you whatever, $250 to make them. And you can only make a couple at a time. It sounds like if you had 10 grand in your pocket, you could make a bunch of them, right? And that may be what you need. Or if you had 100 grand, you could make a whole bunch of them. So I think, Matin, yes, demonstrating success and pulling yourself up, as they say, by your bootstraps is a fabulous way to do things. That's the way real businesses are built. Right? All this stuff about venture capital, this is like a fad. It's only been the last couple decades, right? Historically, people build their own businesses and they sell one product and then sell another, right? And it's just, one foot in front of the other. That's real life. So absolutely go do that. I'm clapping for you, right? Yes. But venture capital arrived to help accelerate entrepreneurs like you. And if you can find a loan or a credit card or a friend or a relative to give you, $1,000, even $1,000 sounds like it would make a difference, or much less $10,000. Don't raise 100 and do a bunch of these products, because you'll learn whichever one of those you make, you'll learn more and improve it, right? So don't go crazy, right? I've met many entrepreneurs who, when they got some money, they ordered 1,000 units and they filled their garage with stuff. And then it turned out, we should have done it like this, or it should have been blue instead of green or whatever. And then they're like, oh, now they got ahead of themselves. So make sure you really test your stuff out, and selling them one at a time is a great way to do that, and build hopefully fans out of your customers as well. So I would applaud the one step at a time thing, but some capital might be your next step. Zach, somebody said earlier about SCORE. Service Corps of Retired Executives. That's a resource that everyone, at least in the United States, can use. You can Google that. They have chapters all over America, and it's free. There's also the Small Business Administration, SBA, yes, but the program I meant was the SBDC, Small Business Development Corporation, SBDC. And they also, have consulting centers all across the country, and it's free. And they work specifically with early stage companies, and these don't have to be software companies, right? Pizzerias and hair salons qualify. They're just trying to build economic activity, and this is your tax. This is your tax dollars. It's not free, folks, but it's free to you because you paid your taxes. But those folks are there, and they're also staffed by volunteers. I have friends who work in the local SBDCs here in California, and they help early stage people, and maybe they could help you, Matan, think about how to scale this in a faster way, in case that's useful to you. Let's see here. Okay, that's me. This is right. Please like and subscribe. Let's see. We're running out of time here, so let me just get all our little ads in here. Startup Council. Oh yeah, if you're on LinkedIn, actually, would you please follow us over here too? This is the overarching brand you can see in the corner. Sorry, up there. The Startup Council is an organization that I run. It's a community service. I have some sponsors, but I lose money trying to help everybody. Rising tide lifts all the boats, that kind of thing. Okay, so happy to have your support and likes and follows there. Rob says, "What do you need funding for?" Okay, you're talking to Matan. Yes, good. Thank you, Rob. Thanks for helping out there. Okay, what are some methods? Okay, I think I'm going the wrong way in the chat. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Scott. You're welcome. I would like to surround myself with other startups in person or online on a regular basis to keep making decisions till I launch it. Yes, Mary, I think that's a great idea. The peer group is the magic, right? Somebody smart said something about, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And presumably that doesn't include your children. And we're talking professional life. If you find 5 or 8, whatever, other people who are professional and successful, you're going to learn and you're going to rub off on each other. That's literally what this is. The workshops. Oh, that's the forum. That's the wrong banner, actually. Sorry, that's supposed to say mastermindsworkshops.com. That's the wrong banner. Anyway, so the workshops are an effort to do that, and we meet once a month. Online these days, sometimes face-to-face in California here, but the mastermindsworkshops.com is the place to go for that. Like I said, we'll bring everybody together, and everybody here can talk and meet each other online, and I organize it so there's networking and questions, and it's a lot of fun, actually. It lasts 2.5 hours usually, and the next one is on May 5th. So if you haven't seen that yet, please join us on May 5th. In fact, I could put the link. Actually, maybe one of you can find it. I'll get distracted otherwise. But if you go on Eventbrite, Masterminds, I think this is number 59. Actually, that's probably at masterminds59.eventbrite.com. I'm going to type that in there and try this. Masterminds59.eventbrite.com. Only one I in Eventbrite, right? Okay, there. Try that, and that might get you there. And that's on May 5th, and we'll be happy to have you, Mary, or anybody else there. And that's what we do, literally, is what you're talking about. Because masterminds groups used to be where people would meet in person, like every week and stuff, and people are just too busy these days to have that kind of obligation. So this is my attempt to help in that way as well. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so we're coming up on our hour here. And I hope this is helpful to everybody. Here's the link. Sorry. Okay, there. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. Come on, you. Sometimes these little windows are so. There we go. Okay. So I think we're about at our hour. So I just wanted to say, what do we got here? Yeah, I covered it all. Wow, I'm getting good at this. Okay, so thank you all for coming. It's been a great hour here. Thanks to the folks who joined me on camera, especially. If you'd like to join us again next time, we do this every month, and it's the last Tuesday of the month, or 4th Tuesday, one of those, at the same time. Tell your friends, invite your friends, and also these workshops that are on the screen here. Happy to have you join us there. Those are a little more personal. Everybody gets to talk, and be happy to help you because that's what I do. So thank you for being here, and good job for you guys, getting out there and starting a business, or even thinking about starting a business. It's a brave thing, and the world needs more of you, and the world needs more of you and your creativity, and the money will come if you, if you learn the game. It's like a different language, but you have to learn to speak that language. And if you can demonstrate success and growth, there are lots of people that want to help. And that's especially true if you don't look like me. There's lots of people that think that you have a lot to offer too, and we're here to help. So nice to meet you all, and I hope to see you again next month. I'm Scott Fox. This has been Startup Office Hours from the Startup Council, and wishing you a great day. Hope that this has been helpful in helping you make it happen. Thanks. Bye-bye, everybody.